This YCN segment is brought to you by Bubba's Bar and Grill on Lake Sunapee in Newberry Harbor.
1, 2, 3, hey! This game played on a sunny afternoon was Sunapee's home opener, as their first 5 games were all played on the road. The visitors from Newport sent senior Kyle Rossiter to the mound, while the Lakers countered with sophomore Darren Holton. Holton worked a quick 1-2-3 top of the first, which included 2 strikeouts. Rossiter, on the other hand, ran into a bit of trouble after leadoff man senior Cade Robinson reached second due to an error from the Tigers. Fellow senior Nick Ducharme drove him in with an RBI double, as Sunapee took an early lead after 1 inning. In the top of the second, Holton was again dominant, picking up another 2 strikeouts, this time 1 swinging and 1 looking. The Lakers threatened but could not score in the bottom of the frame, as Rossiter picked up his own 2 Ks and worked around a hit and a couple of walks. Holton came out in the top of the third and struck out the side, as his strong afternoon continued, throwing 3 perfect innings. A combination of walks, base hits, a pass ball, and a double from Holton resulted in 3 runs scored for Sunapee. The Lakers all of a sudden held a 4-0 lead after 3. In the top of the fourth, Holton continued his impressive start with another 1-2-3 inning, after his defense backed him up while also picking up his 8th strikeout. Tigers starter Rossiter did a nice job calming things down and worked a 1-2-3 inning in both the bottom of the 4th and 5th. He began to locate and kept his team in the game. Moving on now to the top of the 6th, Holton lost his perfect game when he hit Newport's 8th man JT Blaine. But Darren worked around the base runner with 2 strikeouts and a ground out, keeping the no-hitter intact. In the bottom of the 6th, however, Sunapee's sophomore Jordan Chappelle swung for his 3rd hit of the game, this time a double to lead off the inning. Cade Robinson eventually drove in the RBI, as the Lakers went up 5-0 after 6. So in the top of the 7th, Holton attempted to complete the no-hitter. Newport's Robertson led off by reaching on an error, but after a strikeout, Tigers cleanup hitter Logan Berry connected for Newport's first hit of the game with a single. They managed to get on the board after a pass ball when Robertson came in to score. But Holton finished off his near no-hitter with another K, as Sunapee went on to win with a 5-1 final score. Both Newport and Sunapee starters pitched a complete game, but Holton finished with 7 innings, 0 earned runs, 1 hit allowed, and an impressive 14 strikeouts. He also hit a double and came around to score. His teammate Jordan Chappelle went 3 for 3 at the plate with an RBI double, and Cade Robinson and Nick Ducharme each drove in runs with base hits. After the game, we caught up with Sunapee's head coach Tom Frederick, as well as Robinson, to hear what they had to say about the win.
First and foremost, Darren threw a heck of a game. He threw a lot of strikes, his curveball was working, kept their hitters off balance. They didn't really hit a lot of hard balls, and when they did hit the ball, our defense really played well. So it was nice to see the kids play with a little confidence, not to make too many physical errors, and only a few mental errors. So we learned a lot today, and much better performance than the last time that we had at Newport. So it was good to see. I thought Nick's hit in that first inning was big, to score the run. The defense of our infield was really phenomenal. A lot of balls in the hole. Cade made some really long across the diamond throws. Jordan had a couple of really hard hits. Our catcher worked hard back there. Got in a double. I think he had a single earlier as well. And the bench energy was good. So it was nice to see a good team effort. Guys seemed like they were up for the game. Home opener. Being on our field for the first time this season was awesome. And the field looked awesome. We had Billy Austin doing a great job on the field all day. Probably spent about 3 hours on it, so it was great. That game, when we had a mistake, they scored 8 runs in the 3rd inning, and it looked like everybody just was like, all right, I don't want the ball hit to me, and when it was, we made a mistake, so we were on our heels. And today, it looked like the guys really wanted the ball hit to them. They knew Darren was dealing, and they wanted to back him. Darren had a no-no going right up to the last inning, and no one was going to let the ball hit the dirt. And unfortunately, we had a tough couple plays there at the end. But, hey, for his first full game on the mound, you can't ask for a lot more. And that's kind of what we expect from Darren. He's a sophomore the rest of the way. He has the ability to dominate a lineup. We need to continue to improve our baseball IQ going forward, and we need to play with confidence. A lot of these guys have been successful at the lower level, but they're playing a little nervous at times because the game is moving a little bit fast for them. But with every time they're out on the field, they should gain that much more confidence with the experience that they're getting. So, I think that as we move forward, that's what we're looking to get, a little more mentally tough and a solid baseball IQ. Well, we lost 3 guys last year, but one of the guys was Player of the Year with Willie Austin, and he had such a positive effect on all the young kids, and he helped them through their mistakes, taught them a lot, and everyone knew when you had Willie pitching, it was like everybody could play more relaxed because they knew that, it was almost in the bank. This year they got to find that identity, and losing those guys hurt, but it's given a lot of other guys opportunities to step up and be the man. I've always said everybody wants to be the man until they're the man, and then they got to show that they're the man. And some of these guys are starting to get it, so it's nice.
Well, the key to this game is Darren starting it off throwing strikes. We struggled a little bit throwing strikes this year, so when a pitcher throws strikes, gets the momentum going, it's really easy to swing the bats. And playing in front of this home crowd, we got the fans over there, we got Gidget making rhymes and stuff. We all want to make hits and we all want to make plays, so it's always a great time playing here. I thought Sean Chisco was solid at second base, same with Nick Ducharme at third, and almost everyone in the lineup really hit the ball hard. We've been dropping our shoulders, popping balls up, so just roping the ball into the outfield was something we really needed to do, and I thought everyone throughout the lineup did that well today. Yeah, it's definitely a little bit sweeter, and for us it's just getting better every single day, so when you can see that immediate change, it's just really nice to see, and yeah, it's something to strive for, beating Newport, and it's always a little bit better beating them. Yeah, so we lost some really good players last year, and we're relying a lot on the younger kids this year. And everyone's been working hard at practice, and that's what you need for a successful team. We can't rely on one person. Relying on those younger players a little bit more, giving them more responsibility, it ultimately makes the team stronger and makes us that much better. We need to keep hitting the ball well and being confident in the field. If something goes wrong, we tend to let it get to our head, which is detrimental in baseball. It's a completely mental game, so you need to stay confident. And so we need to keep our confidence and keep swinging the bat well.
Sunapee improves to 3-3 while Newport falls to 5-3. The Tigers next face off against Stevens in a doubleheader, while the Lakers next travel to Hinsdale.
All right, on 3 Lakers. 1, 2, 3.
Lakers!